Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. Let's talk about makeup. It is time, y'all. It is time for Deck of Panning. I could not be more excited. This is one of my favorite panning projects ever. This is a project that was created by Emily from Emily and Max. She was inspired by a booktuber named Books with Maddi, who created a way to use a deck of cards to gamify her to be read pile, and Emily adapted it for us to use with our makeup collections. And I am so excited. Now, I know I kind of left you guys a little bit hanging last year. I think my last Deck of Panning update was back in August. We are starting over fresh. It's a new year. I'm going to draw 5 new cards. And I just watched Emily's intro for 2025 and went over some of the rules changes. There have been just a few little minor tweaks to the rules and to the game board, but I have the game board for this month up in front of me. Let's draw some cards. So I have my trusty deck of Mandalorian cards here. First, I am going to find my Joker. Little Jawa and a little Tusken Raider. I'm going to go ahead and slip the Tusken Raider back into the deck, and then we're going to shuffle. As you may or may not know, I have a really short attention span and a big makeup collection. One of my big goals as a panner is trying to get some use on every single item in my collection throughout the year. So in order for me to do that, most of my goals, with a few exceptions, are going to be usage goals. I really do enjoy the kind of shop my stash aspect that this project takes on when you're operating off of usage goals. So that's how I enjoy participating in this project pan. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my 5 cards here, and we'll see what we get. So the first one, Queen of Clubs. King of Clubs. I swear to you, I shuffled this. Okay, 3 of Diamonds. Ace of Clubs. That's a lot of club face cards. And then the 4 of Spades. Okay, all right. Those are my 5 cards. Let's take a look at the game board. The first one I've got here is the Queen of Clubs, and that is pick your space. So the red and black queens are all pick your space, but it needs to be in the same suite as the card that you drew. So that's the club suite. So I have concealer, graveyard, collecting cobwebs, spray, pretty packaging, blush, in it for the long haul, out of your hands, and represent another project. I think I've done most of those, with the exception, I've never done out of your hands before, and I've always liked the idea of doing that one. So I think that might be the one I go for. Then I have the King of Clubs. So the black king is focus. The way that Emily describes that prompt is that you just kind of refer back to whatever your panning goals or your focus was at the beginning of your year of panning and make your decision based on whatever those goals were. Next one was 3 of Diamonds, and that is something that's glittery. That should not be too hard. The Ace of Clubs. Ace of Clubs, that's a baby goal. Okay, baby goal meaning, let's see what she says in her prompts. Guidance. Okay, so that means a small usage goal, 3 to 10 uses, or a product nearly empty or nearly to pan. The prompt was submitted by Chloe. That's a good one. And then the 4 of Spades. Oldest in my collection. I don't know. I don't know if I know what product is the oldest in my collection, to be honest. Let's double check on that. Oldest of any category, not your entire collection. Okay. Example, oldest bronzer, oldest concealer. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier because I do know what products in my collection are on the older side, but I don't think I could identify the single oldest product in my collection. Okay, that is all of my prompts. I'm going to go pick my products, and I will be right back. Okay, I've picked my products. Okay, all but one, because I felt like that would be fun to just kind of randomize it on screen with you guys. But yeah, let's just look at the straightforward ones first. So I drew the 3 of Diamonds, and that one is something glittery. And for that, I actually chose this little duo from Dose of Colors. At the top is this really pretty beigey cream eyeshadow. It's very pretty on its own, but when paired with, underneath here, you can screw off this, and then you have this beautiful pot of incredibly sparkly, gorgeous, loose pigment. And I do not reach for this enough. I'm gonna swatch this over the top of. That's how I usually wear it, is I usually use the cream eyeshadow to kind of give my eyelid a little stick. And then I put, I don't know if it's really coming across on camera how beautiful and sparkly that is, but I am in love. I don't get enough use out of this. And so yeah, I'm gonna roll this in, and I am going to roll it in for 3 uses. I am going based on the number of the card. For the numbered cards, that's pretty easy. 3 is going to get 3 uses. I've got a 4 in here that'll get 4 uses. For the face cards, the Jack is going to represent 11, the Queen will represent 12, and the King will represent 13. And I believe the Ace actually represents 2. So I don't play a lot of cards, but that's my understanding. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So that is the first one that we're going with for the glittery prompt. And then I also got the Ace of Clubs, and that was for a baby goal. So I decided to roll this in. I don't think I've ever rolled a perfume into my Deck of Panning project, but this is the Angels Share Travel Size Perfume by Killian. This is a really warm, kind of boozy, spicy perfume, and which usually isn't something that I go for. I generally tend to gravitate towards fresh and sweet and kind of like fruity florals, that type of thing. But I really, really enjoy this one, and I especially enjoy it in the wintertime because it smells cozy to me. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this in, and I'm actually going to roll this one because it is a baby goal and we're almost done. I'm going to roll this one in to finish. Then I pulled the King of Clubs, and that one was for focus, the focus prompt. The focus prompt just refers you back to whatever your panning goals were at the beginning of the year. And I don't have that video up yet where I discussed what I learned from my first year of panning and what my goals were going into 2025. But I did discuss the fact that for my first year of panning, I felt like I really focused really, really hard on the older products in my collection and finishing those up and getting them out of my collection. And I'm glad that I did that. I don't have any regrets about that. I managed to finish quite a lot of products that have sort of been just languishing in my drawers, you know, and I'm glad I was able to get those out. The only drawback to that, however, is that I feel like I have some newer products in my collection that I've been super excited about and really, really wanted to play with, but I felt like I didn't have the space to do so while I was focusing so hard on the older stuff in my collection. So for this year, I'm trying to give myself permission to play with some of this newer stuff that I'm really, really excited about and get some use out of it. So in the spirit of that, my son is being so loud outside that door. I'm sorry. He's 3 now. Naps are no longer a thing. He's deaf. And something about him being deaf has made him the loudest child. The loudest child. So from my focus prompt, I'm rolling in this Pat McGrath's Eye and Cheek palette. This is what she looks like. I picked this up after the holiday last year. I picked this up after the holiday last year. And I think I've dipped into this less than 5 times since I picked this up. The few times that I did play with it, I really, really enjoyed it. I have been eager to play with it some more. I felt like I just didn't have the time to focus on it because I was focusing on all of these other older products. So I am rolling this one in for 13 uses. I'm also going to try to make sure I am able to hit every single pan in this palette and use every product. So far, I have really, really enjoyed it. I think the quality is very, very nice. Do I think it was worth full retail price? Probably not. That's why I waited until after the holiday to pick it up. So I'm excited to play with this one a little bit more. And then for the Queen of Clubs, that was for pick your space. And so I chose a prompt from the same suite, and I chose Out of Your Hands. And I had my husband pick it. But I mean, trying to pick a single product for my entire collection was going to be super overwhelming for him. So what I did, or let me show you what I did. I thought it was pretty clever. Last year, I created a bunch of these little multiple choice wheels for my That's Expensive project pan. I have one in here for face palettes, one in here for foundation, for concealer, for bronzers, etc., etc. So what I did is I just spun and got something random for each of those categories, and I put it in a box, and I had my husband choose from that box, and this is what he picked. Okay, so what I need you to do is I just need you to pick any one of the products that are in this box. You can pick whatever looks good to you, but on any criteria. I just need you to pick one of them. Okay. So this is the Natasha Denona My Dream Cheek Trio. This is rolling into the project for 12 uses. Gosh, she's such a pretty palette. I think I had this in a couple of different projects last year. Really, really enjoyed it. And I'm going to be super happy to get a little bit more use out of it. Finally, the last card was oldest. I wasn't really sure what to pick. So what I did is I went through my collection. I picked out 5 different products that are the oldest in their categories. And so I have 5 products here and we're going to randomize them. The first one I have here is this Lancome blush. This was a gift, I think, from a family member a few years ago. And I haven't gotten a ton of use out of it. It is my oldest blush. It's not the type of shade I usually gravitate towards, but it is a really nice blush, so I could stand to get a little bit more use out of it. Then the oldest foundation in my collection, after having finished my Misha BB cream, my Purito BB cream, and my It's Cosmetics CC cream, and I finished those last year, this is now the oldest foundation in my collection. This is the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Foundation in the shade 4, which is a good shade for me during the winter time. So this would be the perfect time to get a little bit more use out of it. Then in concealers, this is my oldest concealer. This is my Wet n Wild Megalast Incognito Concealer in the shade Fair. This is obviously a very, very light shade for me. Too light really to be used as a concealer. I tend to use this more as a matte liquid highlighter, and it works really well for that purpose. Then I have my oldest eyeliner, which is my Rimmel, Scandalize. Rimmel Scandalize, which is this black pencil liner. It's still beautiful and creamy and black and blendable, but it also really stays put and it does not budge throughout the day. Really, really nice eyeliner. I actually had this in my 24 and 24 for last year, but did not get to it. I did not end up wearing a ton of pencil liner last year, so this was one of 2 pencil liners in my 24 and 24 I was not able to complete, but I would not mind getting a little bit further through it because, again, it is the oldest one in my collection and it is such a nice liner. I hate to see it go to waste. And then the oldest lip liner in my collection is this one. This is my NYX lip liner. There's no text left on it at all. It's completely rubbed off, but this is my NYX lip liner in the shade Mauve. It is one of my favorite My Lips But Better lip liners. So those are my options for the oldest prompt. So we're gonna just number them. 1 is gonna be that blush, 2 will be the foundation, 3 is the concealer, 4 is the eyeliner, and 5 is the lip liner. We're just gonna randomize one of those. Give me a number between 1 and 5.
That would be 4.
4, so that's the eyeliner. So that is rolling in for how many uses? So the Queen of Clubs, 12 uses. So this is going to be rolling in for 12 uses over the next month. We'll see how I do. That looks like that would make a nice look right there, doesn't it? I think those are going to go well together. So here are the 5 products I'm rolling into my deck of panning for the next month. Wish me luck. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.